but you are a brilliant man. I mean, advanced degrees, you've been to space, you were a doctor multiple times over. When did you know that you were smart?
I was a kid that was fascinated with science and science fiction. And I guess maybe that was the first time realizing that I found something that I love, and that was space science. And I grew up during the growth of the space program, so it was natural for me to apply that sort of natural curiosity and abilities to science. And so that's why I became a medical doctor and eventually became a doctor who practices not only here on Earth, but also in space. And one of the key things for young people is spending time with yourself to figure out who you are, what are you all about, and that sets the stage for setting goals and setting dreams in life, which I think is key to success. You already mentioned that my parents divorced when I was 6 years old. My mother had a education. She had a degree from Prairie View A&M University, and she was an educator. And as you mentioned, my father only had 11th grade education. And the first lesson I learned is the value of education. And so seeing her make that move, and just think about this, she was probably in her upper 20 years old with 3 kids, making a move to change our lives, leaving inner city Houston, Texas for the Navajo Nation. And that's a whole nother story. But she got a job working for the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and I got taken out of that kind of restrictive environment into an environment where I could dream freely. To stay in orbit around the Earth, we have to travel at 17,500 miles an hour. And so when you look down at the ground, you realize that you're moving very quickly around, just skating the atmosphere. And yes, you can see that movement. And a little funny story, when I did my spacewalk and I opened up the hatch for the first time and stepped out, I felt like I was falling initially, and I had to overcome that.
When you did let go for that spacewalk, I'm sure you tried to prepare yourself as much as possible. Was there anything that you did last minute to just say, we're going to do this?
Oh, it's exactly what you just said. You have trained all of those years waiting for that moment that you open up the hatch and walk out for the very first time. And yes, that first step was a little scary, but once you got out there, it was an incredible view, the expanse. In fact, I included this background so that people can have the experience that I had. Just imagine if you were in my position on the end of the robotic arm and taking this all in. It was incredibly beautiful.
It's got to be incredible to look back knowing you had that opportunity as well. The book's full of great stories. Dr. Bernard Harris, thank you so very much for joining us today, and thanks for all that you've done to help out science and scientists around the world. Appreciate talking with you.